charts, and it's a funny thing. But other than that, so today, guys, the sun entered Capricorn, and I want to give Capricorns a little, just talk into the Capricorn energy in general, because what's very interesting, if anybody's unfamiliar with Capricorn energy, in pop astrology, Capricorn's kind of spoken about in this sort of tone that it's like the workhorse and the, like, you know, workaholic, and they're always grinding and going hard. And it's so interesting because that's not Capricorn energy. That's a facet. That's the masculine expression of Capricorn energy. But it's very interesting because something that's been coming through a lot as we're getting near all this energy moving into Capricorn, I've been really actually tuning into the true like energy of Capricorn. And this is where I get a little nerdy, so bear with me, because we are talking about my special interest, which is astrology. I've been studying for 11 years, so I get really, really excited to talk about it. But Capricorn is actually a feminine sign. Water and earth are feminine signs. And the thing is, Capricorn is the last earth sign. It goes Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Maiden, Mother, Crone. And so Capricorn is the grandmothers. It is that crone energy. It is that wise woman energy. The ones that leave legacy through storytelling, through beautiful routines and creating a energetic structure to the home. It's like when I just think of like, I'm thinking of like a really like close Italian family, like the grandmother's there making the pasta still. You're not gonna be able to like get in there and help unless she's like teaching you and like passing it on. Like she'll still go until she stops. And that is the beautiful, beautiful energy about Capricorn. And as we're tuning into, it's officially the like Cap Sun second decan will work hard for nice stuff. Hey, I love that you know that about you. Also, thanks for everybody who's joining, liking and sharing my live. We'll get it out to other people who will enjoy my content. But as we're entering, do you think a Pisces woman and a Taurus man could have a happy, healthy relationship? Those are just small facets of your chart. You have a whole entire birth chart. Mars and Venus come into play. Are your moon signs compatible? Rising signs? That's a very complicated question. It's a very complicated question. So it depends. Any relationship can work if you want it to. Ultimately, it just depends on if you want to put in the energy. Yeah, I love Taurus men are great. I love Taurus men. They are very reliable, like Damien said here in the chat. So I've been wanting to talk about this Capricorn energy because of the fact that Venus is going to be moving into Capricorn this week. Next week, Mars will be moving into Capricorn, and then we'll have the sun and... Did I say Mars? Mars is already in Capricorn, but Mercury will be moving into Capricorn the following week. So we're going to have all of the personal planets hanging out in Capricorn. So there's a lot of Capricorn energy. So to take let me grab my mouse back. So for the week ahead, we are looking at nothing happening on Monday or Tuesday. And just a little preface also, guys, is that when I'm talking about these transits, I'm talking about the exactitude that they're meeting, aka the same degree to create that, which means we'll feel the buildup of this energy coming online and then the ebbing of it. But when I'm talking about it specifically is when it's exact, okay? So on Monday, nothing specifically happening as far as planetary transits. On Tuesday, we actually do have Venus making a square to Neptune. On Wednesday, the 24th, Venus enters Capricorn. Nothing on Thursday, nothing on Friday, which I feel like is good. There's still going to be conversations and energies happening, and I'll get into that. And then on Saturday, Mercury is going to trine Chiron. And so, man, only 3 exact transits happening this week, which last week was a lot. Lot of transits. Welcome, guys. So let's jump into talking about this square. So I'm going to jump ahead 1 day, 2 days, and we'll see what we got going on here. So, oh, thank you, Kim. I appreciate it. Yeah, I love talking about this stuff. I go live every Sunday, by the way, to talk about these things. And if you can't stay for the whole live stream, you guys, I re-upload the entire thing to YouTube, so you can watch it while you're driving, cooking, etc., and listen to it. Kind of have me be your little energetic weather forecaster. I don't know why I said a war. We're gonna have to dive in. I'm gonna have to think about that one. Anyways, and also my newsletter, you guys. I have a newsletter. It's called Letters from the 8th House, and it's where I take everything I talk about here. Monday morning, I'll send you an email with all this info, all written out, because my background's in education, and my deepest desire is to talk about these things in ways that everybody can understand. Some people like verbal, some people like to watch it, like see what I'm doing in the chart. Some people want to just read it or have something they can touch back to. So thanks for the follow. So whatever way, all my stuff is linked in my bio. So let's take a peek here. So we've got Venus at the last degrees of Sagittarius on Tuesday. Thanks for the follow, Kim. And then Neptune is at the final degrees of Pisces. I don't like those circles. By the way, guys, I'm a Virgo rising. I'm very specific. Okay. So they're making a square. Guys, if you haven't been here the last couple weeks, we've been talking about these squares. Yeah, everybody has a chart, Joseph. We all have our own unique astrological thumbprint, and my job as a professional astrologer is I know how to read them. So if you want to get a reading from me. Yeah, boy. All right. So thanks for the follow, Joseph. All right. Guys, I'm sorry, I get so excited. And then when you guys start talking, I bounce all around. So on Tuesday, later in the evening, on the 23rd, Venus is squaring Neptune. This energy is going to feel very familiar because Mars made a square to Neptune, and then the sun made a square to Neptune. The sun was just a couple days ago, actually, and then Mars was like about a week ago. And so this energy is very familiar. It almost, at least for me, has felt like we're really letting shit go so we can enter 2026 with a clean slate. The new moon that we had 2 days ago on the 19th was pretty intense. I'm curious for those of you who really felt into this, like what showed up for you. Feel free to share in the chat if you want to, but lots of tension. Squares are 90-degree angles. They create tension, and tension has to move out. I've got a lot of new faces here, so I'm going to tell you how I describe squares. Squares are like the tectonic plates. You know, when they move and shift, they rub up against each other, and what happens when the tectonic plates do that? We get earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanic eruptions. Something happens. Something has to be released. That's the thing with squares. And so we've been going through a lot of these squares where maybe conversations get blown up. Maybe there's misunderstandings. Thanks for the follow, Brandy. Will I be doing... Thanks for the follow. Will I be doing live mini readings? No, I will never be doing live astrology readings of people's charts. That is your soul blueprint, and I will not be talking about the deep facets of yourself to a live audience. I will never do that. I will never, unless I'm roasting you guys and we do like a funny thing, but I'm not ever going to do that. I go very deep. And that's, yeah. I'm going to leave it at that. A square, like I said, it's a 90-degree angle. So that's when these planets are having conversations with each other. Oh, interesting, Joseph. Yeah, lots of dreams happening too. I actually, for those of you who don't know, I have a Discord server, and it's a whole community of people, and a lot of people actually were sharing dreams. We have a channel for dream interpretation and like sharing our dreams, and a lot of people were sharing this week of like having some intense dreams. I also had some really intense dreams, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, but that's pretty normal for me personally. So actually getting into talking about this square. So Venus at 29 degrees and Neptune at 29 degrees. Venus represents our love, the way we give and receive love. And in Sagittarius, it's sort of this freedom seeking energy, doesn't want to be tied down, wants to be able to go from campfire to campfire and just enjoy love and just express themselves. And then Neptune is the highest octave of Venus, actually. It's the higher octave of love. It's unconditional love. And it's at the final degrees of Pisces, which is literally like what I would imagine would happen when we're basically dying and seeing the lights and like transitioning into the other realm. But it's from, you know, going back into the stream of consciousness of unconditional love. It's a lot of words. But all this to say is this square is, there could be a part of you at this time, just depending on how this impacts your chart personally or those around you, right? It doesn't have to be affecting you personally. It could be affecting somebody around you, and you kind of get the ripple effect of like maybe helping them through it or talking to them about it. But this feels like Venus is really, really struggling with settling down, with wanting to, it's this push and pull between like universal love and personal love. This sort of like, this is how I give and receive love, so this is what's right, versus this sort of greater theme that the thing that connects all of us is actually love. And both are true in their own rights, but there is this tension that comes from it where you may be seeing where you rebel out of necessity, or rebel in this way of like, I don't want to agree with some things. It's going to be really personal, but it feels like this irritation. It's reminding me of like the rebellious teenager of like, no, I don't want to go get married, even though it's like, I really like this person or I really like this relationship, but I feeling this sort of pressure that you have to conform in a certain way or do things in a very specific way. And Neptune's like, I just want you to like understand that there's more to life than just like this small thing. Frosty, welcome. Yes, Astro Yap for sure. For those of you who don't know, I'm also live over on Twitch, but I can't say Twitch on TikTok, so I have to be very specific. And again, liking the live and sharing it will get it to other people who will enjoy it as well. So I can see Tuesday, and this transit's pretty late Tuesday night, so I could see for some of you like relationship outbursts potentially happening, where it's like sort of this edge of like, your communication when it comes to love is not in agreement. And ultimately it's like that tension and that friction that happens will break through, and depending on how you repair, can really lead into a deeper evolution of your relationship. So it's going to be deeply personal for those of you who are hanging out here. I see what's up with Libras. Libra's just your sun sign, so if I don't know your rising sign, I can't really help you, unfortunately. These things are so good, these drinks. I'm addicted. All right, so I feel like there's more I want to say to this square. I know you don't know what it means, and I've tried to tell you many times. Let's see. Yeah. There might be this deeper undercurrent of understanding the way that you've been expressing love or seeking love or fulfillment is not actually going to help you in the long run. It's like this sort of frustration of realizing, like, almost like this energy of like, I need to grow up. I need to like, and holding on tightly to this sort of fantasy ideal of, I don't know why I'm thinking of like hookers and like Las Vegas and like just going and partying. And it's like, this is fun, but I'm not gonna find love in a strip club. I don't know. That's kind of the energy that's coming through with this Venus square. Okay. Very interesting. I'm going to pause here. How's everybody? Even if you try, yeah. It's like, if you pay them more money, I mean, yeah, maybe they'll be a little more reciprocal, but they're working a job. So then, literally the next day, Venus shifts into Capricorn. So again, we've been going through these tensions between Saturn and Neptune, and then now Venus kind of breaks free of this Sagittarius energy and is grounded. It's like finally like finding your feet on the ground. We've had so much Sag energy the last couple like weeks, and it's almost like this like soft exhale of like, okay, I can like now take steps forward in these different areas. Venus in Capricorn is this energy of grounded, methodical love, very practical and gentle in nature, but also this understanding that when it comes to expressing love and connection, it's this deeper understanding that it's not just you loving that person, it is healing lineages, and it's being passed down to future generations. So it's really, really this powerful energy of like seeing the whole picture. 7, what? I don't know what it means, Frosty. You have to just go to astro.com or Astro Cafe and plug in your birth date and time and location, and then it should tell you. But you can also shoot me a message over on Discord, and I can help. Oh, Mandy, let's do it. So I am right now reading the astrological forecast for the week ahead, but my natal chart readings are linked in the bio, and those are one-on-one private calls because I will never read somebody's chart publicly because I go deep and I see everything. I'm not going to lie. But I would love to actually sit with you and have some one-on-one time and really dive deep and hold you in that sort of sacred container. So yeah, I'm a little biased. I wouldn't recommend having a TikTok live reader read your natal chart publicly. That's like baring your soul to an entire audience. It's like being on stage naked. If they really know how to read the chart, I personally would not do that. Okay, so to kind of like wrap up this Venus and Capricorn energy, it feels good as I tune into it, as I'm feeling into it. It feels like, I really feel like all these planets have been through the fire with Sagittarius. It was kind of like this anxious, hurried energy to kind of like bring things to the finish line for the end of 2026 or 2025 into 2026. And now we're like softening into the resting period of winter, of slowing down, of like really like laying solid foundations. And with Venus and Capricorn, it feels really nice, especially moving into Christmas. And like, I feel like there might be like, the build up to Christmas might be really intense, but then it's like settling into it's just gonna really feel like all my work's paid off. I can breathe again. I can settle into, knowing that I don't have to carry these past things that have been coming up the last couple weeks into 2026. All right, Venus and Capricorn. Anything else here? No. Okay. All right. There's only one other transit happening this week. I feel like this is probably the least amount of transits that I've witnessed for a little bit happening during the week. Let's jump ahead to Saturday. I do want to talk about like, I'm just, yeah, looking at all these things. Oh, interesting. On Christmas Day. Yeah, I'm just going to wrap some stuff up in here as well. Christmas Day, the moon's in Pisces. I don't do a lot of moon transits because the moon moves very quickly, but it does have this subtle, energetic, emotional implication to each day. But it would take me hours to go through the transits if I included the moon in each week. So the moon's going to be in Pisces on Christmas Day, which feels very emotionally, it's just going to be a little bit dissolving, but sort of like, where do my boundaries lie? Where do I want to show up? How do I feel? But it's also dissolving into love. There's going to be sort of, I guess my advice would be really, really honing in on this Saturn and Neptune energy that we've had going on in Pisces for the last, Saturn's been in Pisces for the last 2.5 years. Neptune's been in Pisces for the last 14 years, which has not been really fun. But Saturn in Pisces has been really having us hone in on our emotional discernment. And I feel like for those of you who maybe are going to be around family, around different people on Christmas, it's like emotional discernment. Can you understand where you start and other people begin? Because there might just be like, trying to understand where the emotional barriers are. And so it might be a little testy of like, am I where I want to be in this? And so really, really checking in with your emotions during this day, checking in with how you feel. Are you feeling other people's feelings or are they your feelings? And that's where the work really comes in of like, have you been putting in the Saturn and Pisces work of understanding what is yours versus what is somebody else's? The answer might be no. It might be like, I have no idea what the fuck's going on, which is real, but I'm just bringing that into the conversation because I know a good chunk of people celebrate Christmas and I want you guys to kind of be able to gear up for that day. Welcome, Angel. What else is going on? Yeah, again, kind of integrating these squares we've been going through. It's almost like a little bit of like eggshelly energy where it's like there was some tension that probably happened in your personal life the last couple of weeks. And so understanding like might feel like walking on eggshells. Like, can I say this? Is it safe to do what I want to do? Or am I going to have to adhere to other people's rules because I'm in their homes on Christmas? So just bringing that awareness in. Now, happy holidays, Angel. Happy winter solstice to those of you who celebrate. Then on the 27th, Mercury is going to be making a trine to, right? Chiron. Where's Chiron? Why my brain not working? What do you think about Cancer moons? I'm dating a Cancer moon. I love them. But you're I'd say focus on the moon cycles too, because you are very influenced by the moon. Yeah. Okay, so my moon sign, an Aquarius moon. I have no feelings. All right, so on the 27th, which is Saturday, that is the worst looking arrow, but Mercury is now doing this trine that Venus and the Sun and Mars already went through. And so there's again this sort of wrapping up Pisces Sun, Aquarius Moon, Gemini Rising, all over the place. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes, you are. Like imagining that. Okay. Yeah. Your moon's like in the 9th or 8th house. Sun in the 10th? I'm trying to picture it in my mind. So Mercury's has gone through this retrograde period, and then this post retrograde shadow, and finally last week exited its shadow and now is flying through Sagittarius. So it almost finally feels like, okay, I can think straight now. I can go forward. The thoughts still feel a little chaotic, but this trine that's happening to Chiron, it's there's safety in communicating your pain and your pain points. So Chiron has been hanging out in Aries for a hot minute. By the way, if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, I have a huge giant poster here. I spent the last weekend writing out all the transits for 2026, and I've been going to work, guys. I've been going to work, and I got some insight. So definitely subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me here, all the places. I guess the number one place that you guys can stay in contact with my stuff is my newsletter, Letters from the 8th House. So definitely subscribe there. Also, I feel like I have so many thoughts coming through. Very Mercury and Sagittarius right now. I'm ruled by Mercury, by the way, guys. I'm going to be doing a free event every month. So definitely subscribe to my newsletter because you'll get more insight there. But I'm really planning on, like, I really want to hone in on community. So if you're not in my Discord server yet, if you're afraid of using Discord and haven't yet, it's time. It's time to try something new. Okay. Anyways, back to Mercury making a trine to Chiron. Chiron has been in Aries for a hot minute, and Chiron represents the wounded healer. And it's this pain point that we've been really moving through around our identity wounds. And so this trine, which is a positive energy flow, it's this comfortability in being able to communicate your pain points and like where you've felt stuck or stagnant. And I feel like this could be a really beautiful time for those of you who maybe had tension happen the last couple weeks to actually start clearing the air, to like start communicating about things, or even if it's a self-introspection sort of time period where it's like, oh, yeah, I'm realizing that I can share how I'm feeling with myself, right? When I'm talking about these things, it can be personal or interpersonal, meaning connecting with other people. So there's also this thing with these trines to Chiron that have been happening of knowing that you don't have to be fully healed to have a conversation, or have to feel like you have to be right or have all the knowledge or have all the facts and figures. And I'm saying that because Mercury's here. It's like being okay with, okay, I'm just going to show up with what I have right now and say how I feel. It's not this whole thing of like, I have to have all the logic and a game plan and everything figured out. With this trine to Chiron, it's like, okay, I can admit that I'm feeling hurt and I'm willing to heal these things, per se. Yeah. Wow. I mean, literally, that's the transits for the week. So again, I'm going to jump back here. Wow. Normally my live streams are like over an hour plus long. So I'm going to jump back here. So again, just a little recap. So on Tuesday, the 23rd, Venus is squaring Neptune. Hi, Gabby. On Wednesday, the 24th, Venus moves into, hi, Shakira. Venus moves into Capricorn. And then on Saturday, the 27th, Mercury makes a trine to Chiron. So I'm like, holy cow. Like, not a lot of transits, but I do want to kind of like wrap up this energy in this way of understanding, like, what does it mean for Christmas, the holidays? We've been moved. Thanks for the follow. Kaiser Roblox, let's go. Thanks for the follow. That sound you guys just heard over here on TikTok is my follow sound when people follow me on Twitch. So there is this sort of overarching feeling with the transits that have been occurring. It feels like this week of Christmas from December 21st to the 28th is really this sort of feeling of wrapping up the tension that's been coming up. Like I said, this new moon that we had in Sagittarius on the 19th, it brought up a lot. It kind of brought up where we're clinging to things that we don't need to hold on to move forward into 2026. So I feel like the rest of this week of the 21st is we're really softening our grip around things and realizing you don't have to move forward into this following week in past patterns, past energy. The tension that's come up has released you. Oh my gosh, this person that's watching me here on Twitch thinks I have mental problems. Let me show you this. This is what we're talking about. I just changed my screen. I do have mental problems. I'm mentally sick. He doesn't have a clue. He's not even on the same wavelength, you guys. It's fine. It sucks to be a normie. It's cool. I'm not a normie hater. It's okay. It's okay to be a muggle. Okay. So, let me... We're gonna... Okay. Muggles. Sorry. I had to give them a little timeout over on Twitch. It was just a little bit too distracting. And I do want to say, yeah, my mod was a little too late to the game. Come on. For those of you who did join me on the 19th, we did vision boards. Thank you for hanging out with me. But I'm like, I want to talk more. I want to talk more. Yeah. I want to talk more. There's, again, wrapping up this weekly energy, because it really feels like I'm getting the image of like, just like holding the single flame. And especially for those of you who have some tension happening with family or relationships or whatever it is, if it hasn't been released yet and it's like still in that integration process, I would invite you guys to loosen the grip. Why are you holding so tightly to some of these things? Is it this need to be right? Is it this need to prove yourself or prove a part of yourself? Thanks. Is it like one of those things, or, you know, can you surrender that? Because again, we have the North Node in Pisces, which has really been pushing us into surrendering, into letting go and letting God. It's really this energy of like, can I trust something bigger? Just got out of a relationship lately. It's nice to let go. Yeah. And you know, I know in my personal life, I've been hearing a lot of people go through these different squares and different facets, and whether it's relationship disagreements or work disagreements or friendship, or it's been very interesting to see how it's been showing up for people. But for some of us, it's been internal. And some things I can speak to is really realizing that on an energetic level, sometimes we still are our own authority figure in the regard of like, you know, some of the things that maybe you perceived your parents projected on you, and you realize now as an adult you're continuing to do that same thing to yourself. And it's no longer your parents. They're not doing that anymore because you're living elsewhere or you're, you know, at a different phase in your life, but you still do those things. And these squares are showing that kind of thing. That's what I've been really, really witnessing is like, oh, I don't have to bully myself anymore. I don't have to if it's been a personal thing, I don't have to like force myself into believing these things anymore, that I can just let them go. Had a screaming match with my brother yesterday. Hashtag I won. Hashtag everything's okay. You know what's funny? Shakira, my brother's here in the chat. someone's dad is my brother. And then, yeah. So, I don't think he and I have ever had a screaming match. We have thought that each other were lizard people before, though. That has happened. Yeah. If you guys didn't see my new moon in Sagittarius video, it's on YouTube. And this will really break down those squares for you, because all the square that was happening with the new moon, those squares are still happening. Right? I love you, Mom. Yeah, so having a lot of gentleness, I do see for some people, it might feel like for the holiday season, it's like almost like you've smoothed out some of the tension, but there's also this feeling of like, is it safe to walk forward? Is it safe to, traverse the holidays with the past tensions that have happened? Like, it's this idea of like, you've had a pattern where you've had to walk on eggshells, but those eggshells aren't there anymore. And so it's more of like, can you soothe your body enough and open your throat chakra to talk about those things and like clear the path? It's like this last final clearing that I feel like is happening before we move into 2026. It really is such a beautiful energy that I'm feeling into for this week ahead. Yeah, okay. I think that's it, astrology-wise, that I want to talk about. I actually want to read to you guys something that I wrote on Substack yesterday. I wrote this note yesterday. I wrote something that came through regarding the new moon in Sagittarius and the winter solstice threshold is: imagine your hand holding something between the bars of a cage, white-knuckled gripped. It is something that your mind is clinging to, yet you can't pull it through the bars. Maybe from this vantage point, you feel as though you're the one caged. But a small shift of perspective allows you to see that the thing you're clinging to is keeping you from moving beyond. As you release this metaphorical item, your hand slips between the bars, allowing you to gaze around. Out beyond this narrow-minded thinking is a landscape that evokes the feeling of freedom, curiosity, and potential. Through this journey forward, you might just find that key to the cage behind you, or realize you never really needed that thing anyways. It's always been within you. Which feels so good. Like I literally saw like somebody like trying to pull something through the bars of the cage, and like literally when you let go, your hand can slip through. And so it's like, shit, I gotta let this thing go, or like I'm gonna be stuck here, basically. Chilling and doing laundry, clean the kitchen, nice. Feels uncomfortable, but renewing. Yeah. And that's the thing about new things, is it's always going to be uncomfortable because it's new. It's like the money trap where they put a banana. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so it's like, gotta let it go. And I really feel like in this letting go process that's been happening, and I've been witnessing it in so many people. I literally told my therapist, I'm like, man, I wish I could be a fly on the wall in your sessions, because just hearing the collective things of people being like, this thing happened and I'm so angry and like frustrated. And I've had so many people in my life come talk to me about like a lot of tension in their life, and me go through my own tension too. And I'm like, God, astrology is so fucking real. Like I'm literally like, this is so crazy. But yeah, in the release process has been so freaking freeing, because it's like, wow, I can't believe I spent so much energy holding on to something that isn't gonna serve me in the long run. And again, I still feel that sort of permission of like, you could always go back and like find a new way to get that item. And I feel like through 2026, there's going to be this deeper understanding of like, oh, like I literally wasn't looking deep enough. Like the cage door was open. I could have walked around and grabbed the thing. Like it's a sort of this like weird paradox of like a small-minded, narrow thinking is just going to keep us locked into things. So I'm super stoked for everybody of this sort of like freedom sort of energy. And yesterday was my mom's birthday, and we had such deep, profound conversations with each other, myself and her husband, and just like this reflecting of like the shedding of layers and the vulnerability that's come through with 2025 into like what's presently happening now. Like, it's been so rewarding to just continue to like lean deeper into vulnerability, even though it's like, oh God, it's uncomfortable, but it's good ultimately. But yeah, I'm so excited for 2026, you guys. Again, like I said earlier, I dove deep into writing all the transits down. Eclipse season's gonna be fucking crazy, which is February. I love that I have this here now because I've been wanting to be able to just like look and see. Yeah, February 17th until March 3rd is our eclipse portal. There's going to be a Mercury retrograde happening during it. Yeah, so God, definitely. Again, I go live every Sunday at 4 p.m. PST. If you weren't able to stay for the whole time, this will be re-uploaded to YouTube. So you can go subscribe to my YouTube and you'll get that access. And then additionally, my newsletter, Letters from the 8th House, where I channel the upcoming transits that I just talked about here, and I write them out so you have like a touchstone to return to, especially with it being Christmas week, like being able to go back and look, okay, this is what's happening today, this is what's going on. I feel like will be really nice to have. So if you're not subscribed there yet, definitely do. I'm going to leave this live stream here. Not a lot of questions were asked, and so hey, I knew it was going to be a little bit of a quieter live stream because of the fact it is winter solstice. It's literally the darkest day of the year. I'm going to go continue my rituals and continue creating. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Again, if I'm not able to go live, I'll let you guys know. But there will still be a YouTube video if I'm not able to. But I'm pretty sure my boyfriend and I can get it figured out. We're pretty tech savvy. So yes, Nova, thank you for hanging out. I really appreciated your input and engaging. It's my favorite thing. I nerd out. I love talking to y'all. And for those of you who popped in, I see you, Alana. Hi, Callie. Nick, I see you too. Thanks for hanging out and supporting me, you guys. It means so much. Sending you guys lots of love. I will see you when I see you. All right. Bye. See you guys. Bye. Love you. I know, it's okay. I know, Alana. I'm like, it's okay. 4 p.m. But also it's like a Sunday. I don't know. We were probably hanging out with your family. I'd assume so. But bye, guys. Oh, now that that's over. Hi. Hi, Twitch. Guys, that was crazy. We got like 10 new followers over on TikTok. Epic. Epic. I'm stoked. I'm stoked that this week is going to be this week. And yeah. I am gonna go write this newsletter and go create some art